Welcome to Spill the Milk. I've thought long and hard about this episode, and I've decided to do it. Um, this is probably going to be the most unfiltered you're ever going to see me. And I'm not mad at moms. I'm mad at the advice. So this one's called Unfiltered and Raw. The breastfeeding advice I'm calling bullshit on. Moms aren't failing. The advice is, and I'm getting pissed. So if you don't like cussing, this episode is not for you. If you're going to take this as a personal attack, I'm not attacking you. I'm actually sticking up for you. I'm getting agitated, angry, and mad at the advice moms are given. This episode is not about you as the mom listening to some of this crap advice. It's about the people who should be held responsible for the crap advice they're giving and the marketing strategies employed by pump companies and the ways that we are just making you feel like you're not enough. So, am I pissed? Yes. Am I going to continue to be pissed in this episode? Yes. The reason, again, it's not because of you, sweet mama. It's because we have taken you at your most vulnerable time and given you shitty advice on breastfeeding. So here we go. I'm going to warn you, it's going to be a lot unfiltered. There might be some swearing. I've already done it. There might be some blunt opinions. I have them. But guess what? I have 20 years of experience helping moms and babes. I've seen the failures. I've seen the tears, and I've been on the other end of a mom bawling and crying because of some bullshit advice she was given that moved her away from her goal instead of towards it. Honestly, 20 years of working with moms and babes, I have the right to be pissed off about some of this stuff. And I'm tired of watching women blame themselves for breastfeeding struggles that were never meant to be their fault, ever. It was never their fault to begin with. So today, calling out the bullshit. And let me be very clear about something before we start. Again, I'm not blaming moms, not even a little bit blaming moms. Moms are doing the absolute best they can with the information they are given. The problem is that a lot of the information they're given is bullshit. So today, we're going to talk about the breastfeeding advice that is still being handed out every single day that sets moms up to feel like they failed when really they were never given a fair shot, ever. I hate this. Like, it pisses me off. We are going to tell you you're failing on day 2 before you've even had a chance to succeed. This is bullshit. Moms aren't the problem. One of the most heartbreaking things I hear from moms is this: I feel like my body failed me. And every time I hear that, my heart sinks inside. It literally sinks. It makes me sick. Because in the majority of situations I see, it's not their body that failed them. It's the damn advice. The crappy pieces of advice that people give without following up to the advice they're given, even seeing if it worked for that mom, or let alone even caring how that mom's going to feel when she goes home. Breastfeeding is one of the most biologically normal things our bodies do. Yet somehow we've made it incredibly freaking complicated. Moms are bombarded with rules, schedules, numbers, timers, apps, pumping expectations, freezer stash expectations, and a million opinions from people who may or may not understand how breastfeeding actually works. And that's what I'm talking about. They don't get how it works. They don't. And when it doesn't go perfectly, a mom assumes she did something wrong. But the truth is, a lot of breastfeeding struggles start because the guidance moms receives in those first few days is outdated, rushed, or completely missing the bigger picture. All right, your baby should nurse for 20 minutes. This is complete and total ridiculousness. Absolutely ridiculous. Here it is. You suck on something for 20 minutes. Do it. You suck on something for 20 minutes. See if you can do it. You can't. You can't frickin' do it. You're going to need breaks. You're going to need time. Now, right? All that energy and I know where your mind went, right? Okay, I know where your mind went. Let's just imagine it's a straw with a thick milkshake. 20 minutes. Suck, swallow, breathe for 20 minutes. Do it. You can't. And neither can a 7-pound baby. Stop it with this shit. Here's what it should look like. Suck, swallow, breathe. Suck, swallow, breathe. Suck, swallow, breathe. Not that for 20 minutes. Are you kidding me? Moms don't know what to expect, but you want to tell him 20 minutes? No, don't. You're not helping them. You're hurting them. Let's start. I mean, it's a classic for me, right? I hear it all the time. 10 and 10, 15 and 15, 15 minutes. Colostrum on day one, super thick. Your baby, tired from birth, they're not going to be able to do that for 15 or 20 minutes. They can't. But guess what? That nurse, she has to chart it. Go ahead and chart it. Don't time it. Stop it. Stop doing this to moms. Oh, God, it's disgusting. Again, you suck on a very thick milkshake for 20 minutes. Straight, without stopping. Your baby needs breaks. They need rest. They were just born. They're tired. They're brand new. They're learning to coordinate. They're learning to get those feeds together. All those things are normal. Stop making them not be normal. How about sit with the mom? How about sit with her? Show her, oh, look, your baby's drinking. Look, your baby's eating. Oh, your baby needs a little break. That was a lot of work. They're going to take a little break. That is what should be happening. Who in the hell came up with that rule? I don't know. But it's old. Very, very archaic. We know better. Babies aren't microwaves. You don't set a timer and expect them to be done. You know what? I've seen babies who a mom thought was nursing for 20 minutes who wasn't nursing at all. The baby was just sitting there because nobody sat with her to look at it. Some babies transfer milk quickly, and I hope that starts to happen. But they have to have practice to do it. And guess what? You're not failing if they don't do it on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. You're not. Some babies take their own sweet time. And some babies need longer feeds because they're still learning how to coordinate, just like I said. When a baby gets pulled off the breast because a clock says they've hit the limit, it can interfere with milk transfer and can absolutely affect your supply. Duh. When a baby gets pulled off the breast too quickly, guess what else? We're not doing milk transfer. Baby's not eating. And then you're like, oh, switch sides. And the baby's like, shit, I just got coordinated. I just got it figured out. Why do I have to stop and go to this other side? Stop. The clock has nothing to do with how much milk your baby gets. It has zero things to do with it. If that battery runs out on that clock, you need to ask that nurse, is that clock accurate? If the battery runs out on a clock, what do I do? Put it back on her. Watching the baby matters more than watching the timer. I'm going to say that every time. And get off those stupid apps. They're not telling you anything either. They're not helping you with milk transfer. They're not telling you if your baby's full. They're just telling you what you just got done doing. I know that was a rough one. That was kind of mean. But I need you to get off the apps. You don't need them. I want you to be able to sit in a dark room with your baby, pitch black, not knowing if it's 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, my baby's hungry. So you feed it. Not because there's a clock that says to, but because your baby says to. And then your baby stops nursing. You're like, oh, they must be full. Not because you looked at a clock, but because you know your baby. We got to get back to that, you guys. We have to. And it starts in the hospital. That's where it starts. I'm losing my breath because I'm getting so pissed already. Feed every 3 hours. Oh, Jesus. No. Feed your baby when they're hungry. Let somebody show you what hunger looks like in a baby. Feed your baby when they're hungry. Again, not by the mother effing clock. Stop doing it. Feed your baby when it's hungry. What does it look like? Here you go. Your baby licking the air and looking around. Maybe starting to put their hands to their mouth. Feed your baby. I don't give a shit what the clock says. It's time to eat. Feed it. Do it. Get it over with and move on. I don't care what a clock says. Who's in charge of their hunger? Not the clock. The baby's in charge of their hunger. Your baby's hungry, you feed it. That's what you do. Not because somebody out there told you your baby needs to eat 8 times in a 24-hour period, and then, without any more guidance, they let you go. No. Because what's going to happen is you're going to do exactly what most moms do. You're going to go, oh, 8 divided by 24 is 3. I need to feed my baby every 3 hours. No. Feed your baby on demand. At least 8, 10, 12, 15, 2,767 times a day, whatever they ask for. Feed your baby on demand. Now, in the early days, before they regain birth weight, it's but by the 3rd hour. All of this can be explained, right? Feed your baby on demand, but by the 3rd hour. On demand means it's been 50 minutes, feed the baby if they're hungry. It's been 2 hours, oop, baby's starting to stir, feed them. And then that but by the 3rd hour falls off once babies regain birth weight, because now you're understanding feeding their baby on demand. Again, no clock needed. None. Your baby is what you need. Whew. It's causing really rigid feeding schedules. And I don't like it. Breastfeeding is not rigid. Newborns don't know what a clock is, I promise you. I do promise you that they go to breast for more than just food, too. They go there for comfort, love, warmth, hugs, security, all those things, everything. Some cluster feed for several hours in the evening. Some babies need to eat every hour. Some want to stay at the breast because they're regulating themselves, growing, building your supply. When we force babies into strict schedules too early, we end up interfering with the exact thing that establishes a healthy milk supply, which is frequent feeding. That person that told you to feed your baby every 3 hours, they have no idea. Guess what? They're going to ruin your supply. Breastfeeding works on supply and demand. The more the baby feeds, the more milk the body produces. When we space feeds too far apart early on, it can actually create the very supply issues people are trying to prevent. And if you got that information from a lactation consultant about every 3 hours, I'd be calling her on the phone and telling her exactly the problems she's created for you. All right, here's another one. And I hear this all the time from people. Your baby's using you as a pacifier. Really? Really? Let's look at it. Let's think about this. Karen, when does a pacifier give nutrition? Can you tell me that answer? Karen? Never. 1990, never. Never. Pacifiers don't give nutrition. They burn calories. Karen? So a mom allowing her baby to get some comfort suckling in, guess what, Karen? That baby's getting drops of milk. That's nutrition. Stop acting like a baby who wants comfort is a problem, Karen. Go back to the 90s, Karen. Babies need their moms, and their breasts provide a lot of needs. Pacifiers were invented to imitate the breast, but guess what? They still don't. They don't give nutrition. Sucking at the breast does more than just deliver milk, right? Regulates heart rate, temperature, breathing, digestion, stress hormones. It helps babies feel safe and loved. And they're almost back in that uterus where they spent 9 months if they're at your breast. That's as close as they're going to get. And some babies, it takes them a while to separate from their mamas. It helps organize their nervous system. It helps them feel safe. So when someone tells a mom her baby is just using her as a pacifier, I just want to be like, bullshit. Bullshit. What if that mom doesn't understand hunger signs and you've said, put the pacifier in so they don't suckle on you? What if that baby's hungry? Karen? Go back to the 90s. Comfort nursing is normal. Connection is normal. Being needed by your newborn? What did you have them for? They're going to need you. Don't let a Karen tell you that you're creating a habit. Ask Karen how long she breastfed for, right? Just look at her. She's starting giving you advice. Here's my favorite thing to do to people. When they start giving you breastfeeding advice, just be like, how long did you breastfeed for? Wait for the response. Some people have never done it. So you just shut them up. If they say, oh, I breastfed for 6 weeks, look at them and say, well, I want to breastfeed for a year. So yeah. I'm so sick of people and giving this unwanted advice or like uneducated advice. God, you're just showing like they're showing they're stupid to you. But because you are in a state of anxiety and you're tired, you start believing them. But they're showing they're stupid. But you can't see it, honey, because you're weak and it's okay that you're weak. It's okay. It's their advice, though, that you've got to be careful of. God, your milk hasn't come in. Let's top up. What? What? You have colostrum at around 16 weeks of pregnancy. That's milk. It's there. One of my favorite internal responses, remember, this is a very unfiltered way you guys are getting me. When somebody tells me they didn't get milk, is I want to say, holy shit, you're not a mammal. Someone told them they didn't get milk. Some mom said they didn't get milk. So that mom told another mom she didn't get milk. And then that started to spread. Or some lactation consultant's like, oh, you're not making milk. Or some doctor's like, oh, you're not making enough milk. Holy shit. What makes us mammals? Our ability to feed our young. We're not that broken. We haven't ingested that many pesticides. Come on. Those people? Milk doesn't suddenly appear out of nowhere. Colostrum is milk. Your body starts producing it during pregnancy. The early drops may look small, but they're incredibly concentrated. And your baby's belly is this big on day 1. They only need drops. Transitional milk doesn't arrive until when estrogen and progesterone leave your body. How does that happen? You push the placenta out or the placenta is extracted. Colostrum is first, transitional milk. And you don't have to do a damn thing to get milk. No matter what those cute little sweetie lactation consultants who are showing you how they're breastfeeding their newborn are doing and telling you they're pumping on day 1 so that they get milk better, they're showing they're stupid too. You get milk no matter what because your placenta's gone. The estrogen and progesterone that were being carried with your placenta that were canceling out your prolactin levels, guess what? They've circulated out. The placenta's gone. It takes about 3 to 5 days for all that progesterone and estrogen to rush out of your body. That's why you're moody. That's why you get hot flashes. That's why all those things happen. You don't have to do a dang thing. You're just going to get milk. Formula feeding moms from day 1, they get milk. They'll tell you they do. Okay? Don't let somebody tell you that you have to do something to get your milk. You have to do stuff to keep your milk, supply and demand, removal frequently, right? But to get your milk, you've already done it. You had a baby and you had a placenta. People who tell you that differently, who tell you to do extra, they're just dumb. I don't know how else to say it. They just don't know about breastfeeding. And this isn't your fault. They're telling you this with confidence. You need to do this. They're getting on social media and telling you need to do it. I call bullshit. Go ask your formula feeding friend if she got milk. She never put her breast in her baby's mouth. Ask her if she got milk. Do it. I dare you. Milk production transitions naturally in those first few days. It doesn't require panic. It requires support. All right. I do a majority of my lactation consultations on this one thing, the triple feeding trap, the crap trap, the bullshit lies you're being told about triple feeding. I know how prolactin works. Nana boo boo. Some people don't. For those of you who don't know what triple feeding is, you feed your baby at your breast. You immediately pump after. You take the milk that you pumped out of your breast, put it into a container to put it back into your baby's belly with a bottle and sometimes putting some formula in there. All in one sitting. That's triple feeding. And then you repeat it. You gloriously repeat it. And you start to spiral because somebody gave you some bullshit reason behind it. We need to increase your supply. It's not going to increase your supply. That is not how prolactin works. This pisses me off. This pisses me off. You're just removing residual milk that your baby didn't take, putting it into containers to put it back into your baby. Well, your baby's not transferring. You need to triple feed. Well, if my baby's not transferring, let's get to that issue. Do I have a latch issue? Why am I triple feeding? Can't we just fix the latch? That's the bullshit you're being told. The bullshit. And the biggest piece of bullshit you're being told is you have to do this on day 3 because your supply's low. What supply are you wanting? My transitional milk is just arriving. Get a grip. No one, literally very few, like minuscule amount of moms have low supply at 1 week postpartum. Why are we doing triple feeding? Oh, we're doing it to increase your supply. No, you're not. You're slowly killing me. You're giving my baby a flow preference. You're not teaching my baby effective breastfeeding. You're not allowing cluster feeding. You're interrupting processes. You haven't even given me a chance to fail. You're setting me up to automatically with your triple feeding plan. In some very specific situations, this strategy can be helpful for 3 to 5 days. I don't even use it in my practice, but it has become the go-to plan without enough investigation into what the actual problem is. Shit, there's moms out there triple feeding that didn't even know that that's what they were doing. They just thought it was what they were supposed to be doing because they're seeing it on social media. That's bullshit. But those people are being told from professionals. Again, not a mom's fault. You don't know what you don't know. It's our job to teach you. The reality is triple feeding is exhausting, and it's what makes moms get away from their goal instead of moving them towards their goal. It can make you feel very trapped, and it's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle for some moms. Before a plan like that is even suggested, have the bigger questions been asked? Effective latch, transfer of milk, baby feeding frequently enough. That's the biggest one for lack of weight gain. We're just not feeding the baby on demand frequently enough. Without answering those questions, triple feeding can become a Band-Aid, and it's not even a Band-Aid. It is a bomb. It is a bomb. It's horrible. I do virtual events on triple feeding. I talk about triple feeding a ton. You know why? Because I have the moms crying on the other end. I'm the one that's dealing with the triple feeding trap, the chaos, the bullcrap behind it. And it pisses me off because this mom should have never been triple feeding, and she's almost broken. And I have to put her back together when someone should have never broke her in the first place. Again, not mom's fault. Who am I mad at? Remember who I'm mad at. It's not at you. Unless you're listening to this as a professional, then I'm very pissed at you. Why so many moms think they have low supply? Low milk supply gets blamed for a lot of breastfeeding struggles. Did you know that just because your baby isn't gaining enough weight, it's not always because you have low milk supply. It's just because of feeding frequency. Latch issues has nothing to do with supply. True primary low supply is actually very uncommon. Very, very, very uncommon. True supply issues are usually messed up by a professional. There's usually a professional who messes up supply issues, right? Let's just say a baby's not gaining weight. And instead of investigating feeding frequency, they tell a mom, go pump. Without instruction, without sizing flanges, without doing anything. Just go pump. They don't give her a pumping schedule. They don't talk to her about removals. When all they had to do from the very beginning was just tell that mom, hey, you're just not feeding your baby enough. Can I show you what hunger signs and feeding cues are? Jesus, that takes 2 minutes. The plan that you're mapping out for her, maybe she doesn't even have low supply. Check it, dude. Check it. What I often see instead of are situations where supply was affected by things like poor latch, infrequent feeds, schedule pressure, right? I'm pressuring you, lack of support, confusing and conflicting guidance. These are not mom's fault. They're not. The immediate focus shouldn't be on, oh, your supply is low. We should look at the root cause. And there are so many professionals who don't because they don't care. And that hurts a mom. And none of this, sweet mama, is your fault. But I'm just so sick of all the bullshit being spread out there. Listen, I've been doing this for a long ass time. I know what works and what doesn't. I do. I promise you. I know that you are being failed. I know it. I see it. I witness it. If you take away one thing from this episode, please let it be this. You are not broken. Most moms are trying incredibly hard to do the right thing for their babies. The real problem is that breastfeeding advice is rushed, outdated, and given without context, without a deep dive, without description. And when things get hard, moms carry the blame for systems that never truly supported them. And that's why I'm here. Let me get in your corner and let me fight for you like I'm fighting for you right now. You deserve better information. You deserve better support. And you deserve someone who is willing to say the quiet part out loud, which is what I'm doing right now. And I'm calling bullshit on a lot of things you guys are being taught. Even if it means calling out some bullshit. I love calling out bullshit. Okay? Here's what I want you to know. I am never blaming you. You don't know what you don't know. And you only know what you've been told and what you've entrusted from a, quote, professional. I had to make this video. And I even put this here because I hate these things. I hate them. I hate boppies. Because guess what? We're not teaching you how to hold your baby. We're teaching you how to have a pillow hold your baby. And I wanted to leave this on my lap. If somebody gets equipment out for you to feed your baby and you want to breastfeed, they don't know what they're doing. They don't. I know I can come across rude and gruff and very, very direct. I'm going to put it to you like this. I'm going to tell you why I do it. So my kids are older, and I've had instances in my life where they've been picked on at school, right? You want to make a mom mad? You pick on her child. Pick on her child. That's what's pissed me off right now. I feel like you guys are maybe not my children, maybe my nieces or my kids, right? I guess. People are picking on you. And I'm getting pissed because I have stacks of bad information. I have stacks of consults, paperwork, quotes of things lactation consultants have told moms. And I could go on forever. But it's not just lactation consultants. It's people on social media who have no business making their personal experience one that needs to be duplicated. I am fighting the fight for all of you. Breastfeeding is a biologically normal thing. That doesn't mean it's going to not be hard. We can't fix the process of learning to breastfeed. We can support you through it, but we can't hurry you through it. And if we keep intervening and targeting you with you need this product, you need that nipple shield, you need this silverette, you need this Lancino. Can you notice the three things I really don't like? This lanolin, I hate lanolin. That doesn't fix a bad latch, Jesus. Silverettes doesn't fix a bad latch. Can it soothe? Yeah. Can it also invite yeast? Yes. Nipple shields, they're given out like candy. Like candy. Without a follow-up visit to make sure there's ample transfer. There's just so many shitty things that are happening to you, and you deserve better. So this was me, Unfiltered. These are all the things I don't usually say in my TikTok, social media videos because I don't want people attacking me. But goddamn, I'm fighting for you. Please let me do it. Please. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave me a comment because it was something I needed to do for a really long time, and it's been very cathartic. Very cathartic. But if you took a message from me that I felt like you were doing something that made you feel like you were doing something wrong, God, that's not what I intended. I'm fighting for you, and this is how I fight. Have a good day. Until the next time.